So WWE 2K25, of course, we have the universe mode. Now, we have a couple ways you can do this year. We have the traditional one, which is, of course, you basically create your own modes. You can change your rosters, etc. Or we have the superstar mode. Now, how the superstar mode is very similar to other sports games. You just basically select one of the superstars or the main footballer or the main car driver, and you kind of just control their career and you use them as you move through their career. Or we have the classic mode, which everybody is familiar with in terms of how it works. Now, the good thing about this, there is lots of content within this in itself, and you can have almost endless fun with this as you go through. We have our standard weeks where we can control the weeks that happen in terms of months and everything like that. And then we, of course, have other things that we can change around within this in itself. Now, in terms of the show, you can see here, we can control the first match, the second match, the third match, the fourth match. We can change everything. We can edit the matches. We can change who's on the roster, the participants, even customize the entire match. So you can have full control and reign. You can decide you want to have a ladder match with this person and this person. You can go ahead and do that, etc. Now, on top of this as well, of course, we have other things within this. If we head back over to the actual menu or the calendar. Now, of course, on the calendar, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? On Saturday, we have Backlash and we have the King and Queen of the Ring, as well as SmackDown on Friday, NXT on Tuesday, and of course, Raw on Monday. Now, let's say you don't like any of these. There are multiple ways you can edit them. For example, you can edit the Raw mode itself by just pressing Y or triangle on your controller here on any day that you want. So, for example, you wanted to change this match here, right? You just press Y or triangle on this. It's going to bring up here. You can either create a brand new one or just edit the match itself. And then you can change the participants, the number of matches, the table. Of course, edit the championships, who's in part of it, men's, women's, the women's tag. Obviously, Money in the Bank. As well as editing the divisions in terms of who's going to be where. And there is multiple other things you can do. The power rankings, the day you actually want it to be on, and much more, right? But there's also another way to do this. You can actually head over to edit shows, which is pretty much the same thing. And it's basically the same thing again. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then, of course, we have Saturday, which is empty. Now, to edit these, you have to either press Y or triangle to add a show in. You can make it a minor show or a major show, depending on what you want to do, right? It's all down to you. You can custom your own show. You can change it to exactly what you want, whether you want to have it in terms of the show name being WWE. You can have the screen filter on. You can have the matchup screen. You can transitions, whatever you want. You can go ahead and change even the arena to select a different arena for what you want to create. This is where the fun of this comes into it because of the creativity. And of course, we can add in as who we want in terms of roster. Now, just be careful with this a little bit because, of course, certain rosters will change around with certain other things. So you basically can either put them all in or choose who you want specifically in the roster. And you can go through the champions itself, superstars, women's superstars, and then the extra DLC content, as well as downloadable superstars as well, which we'll get into in another video. Then we have Raw, then NXT, and of course SmackDown. So you can go through and basically customize exactly what you want, who you want to fight, and who. And again, how many matches you want, all the way up to 9 matches, or of course all the way down to 3. In terms of table, there's a similar thing. You can change everything in terms of the chances, the championships, the fatal 4-ways. You've got full control, right? Whatever you like to do. And then you can edit these again. You can make who you want to be a champion in this, for example. And then you can go ahead and just change them around. You've got full control. So that being said, if we go back to the rest of this, you can see here again, we can edit the rivalries if we want to, and we can make our own rivalries on the Monday, Tuesday, or Friday, whenever we've got ourselves a show on, obviously Raw, NXT, or SmackDown. We can put the rivalries ourselves. We can put the rivalry type, 1-on-1, 2-on-2. You can then, like I say, choose the rivalry, and of course, you can choose the intensity as well. If you want it on high, very high, low, or medium. So again, you can really customize the route that you want to go. And it's the same for tag teams. You can go ahead and choose tag teams together. You can have the mixed genders. You can have the champions, etc., etc. And then you can add them into the shows as it goes through. The same with the champions themselves. You can mess around with all of these and change them all around, who you want to be the Hardcore Championship. Of course, you've got to unlock more as you go through. The 24/7 Championship, you can go ahead and select one. And like I say, you have full control over what you want to do. You can make it your entire show. Now, in terms of extra things we can add onto this, of course, we've got options. And then we've got intergender wrestling, if you want to have that on or off. You can have automatic rivalries, or if you prefer to have it yourself, you can turn it off and on as well. Tag team breakup and formations, of course, you can go for all that. Injuries, superstar entrances, if you get sick of them, you can turn them off. The AI announcement in terms of cash-in rate for mid-match, post-match, and of course announcement. And then we have our universe tutorials in case you don't really know what you're doing and you want to have a little bit of help. You can turn that on as well. But you can see here there are other things you can do. We have the classic mode, or we have the superstar mode. Now the superstar mode, of course, is what we covered right at the start, and I'll go back to it in case you don't know where I mean. is a choice you have right at the beginning, whether you want to do it on your own or follow a specific superstar. Now, touching upon the superstar mode just a little bit here, as you can see here, if we make a new slot and we choose the superstar mode, you basically go ahead and you choose the superstar you want to use. Now, some of these are locked behind gates. You have to obviously unlock them. But you can, for example, let's use Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? And then we can go into this. Yes, we want him to be the superstar. And then we can just do the same thing. We can change these around again, what we want him to do or activate them, etc. So if we go ahead and just activate these for now, he wants to participate in the SmackDown. And there you go. We move into this. And then that's just going to put us straight in to the similar menu we had before. And we can basically select our matches that we want. So with this in mind, we can go ahead and manage our superstar. We can start a rivalry. We can change the shows. We can create a team, create a match, championship match. Or the further on we get into this, we can change more superstar information in case you didn't know anything about him and wanted to know a little bit more. And on top of this as well, we can edit the superstar. We can change his attribute points, his hit point ratio, etc. His celebrations, his assigned show, his minor show appearances on or off. He's got allies, enemies, managers, teams, entrances. You can change all that to how you want to fit around the superstar you want. And then, of course, options is the same thing. You can change it to manage superstar frequency every 2 weeks or every week or never or after every etc. 12 months, 12 weeks or even, and much more. So there are multiple things you can do with this. I know there's a few people disappointed. There isn't many changes to last year. Their main fix or change, which is going to be the superstar mode. I'm not the biggest fan of it personally, but you know, it's whatever you're into in that sense. But going back to the basically the classic mode as per usual, this is where most of your abilities are going to be put into what you want to do and how much fun you want to have. Let me know in the comment section down below what you are looking forward to the most. In terms of adding in extra shows, you can see here we put a minor show. We can choose the details of the show. We can go through everything again, main event, etc., etc. And again, we can change the number of matches, a default of what we want to have, a triple threat, for example, and we can have about a 6 superstar with a tag team. Save that in there, and then that is ready to go, and then we can just save it. Of course, we now to make that into a major show because of what we have changed. But that's how you're basically going to do it. Any questions, comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.